Alright folks, welcome to episode 90 of the wee podcast, Filthy Clarky.
Hello. Sorry, I swallowed. Spit. What?
What has happened? Yes, so that's just disgusting for some reason. That's a very dirty intro. This week we're going to talk about the Spider-Man debacle with you alright there? With Disney and Sony sort of disagreeing on the contract. We're going to go into the what's trending part. We've got two things this week which are pretty fun, and then the last part we're going to talk about the usual Stranger Things episode 7 of season 3. So hopefully you enjoy. Woo! Just going to jump right into this Spider-Man thing. I think you've got the layout basically of what sort of, well, the ins and outs of what's happened basically, or what's going on.
Yes, so
Do tell.
yeah, so basically I'll shout out first. This is from complex.com. At the time we are recording this, or you're listening to this, sorry, would probably be better. This was written 2 days ago, so this was on August 21st. So basically, in short, anyone that doesn't know, basically there's some rumours that are going around at the moment, or some news I suppose you could call it. They're not really rumours anymore, that Sony and Marvel Studios Spider-Man deal has went wrong basically. So we thought what we do first is we would go through what the deal is for anyone that doesn't know, why they even have one in the first place, why Spider-Man doesn't belong to Marvel or Disney, and then just into a bit more, what happened basically. So basically take you back to the start. We need to go to 1996. Marvel was
Get my time machine here.
yeah, exactly, getting the way back machine as they call it on stuff you should know. So 1996, Marvel was strapped for cash, really struggling. They'd made a lot of bad investments, and comic books weren't really that popular anymore. So the company was basically looking for any way to stay afloat. That included leveraging the film rights to their characters, so selling those off. So the plan was to sell the rights to get enough cash to keep the company going, and then rake in the money of the merchandise and comic book sales once the films were released. So in short, Marvel still owned all the comic book rights and merchandise rights to anything that they had sold off.
Yeah.
The first people to step in were Fox. They bought the movie rights to X-Men and Fantastic Four and a number of others. And then afterwards, basically Sony ended up with the rights to Spider-Man in 1999. So just for a bit of reference, that is 3 years it took them to get that contract over the line, basically.
Yeah.
Now, 3 years later, Sony, Sam Raimi directed the Spider-Man trilogy.
Sammy.
So it started in 2002, and the Spider-Man 3 film, which was the final in his trilogy, came out in 2007. Those are obviously the ones that had Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
That name sounded wrong to me for a second there.
Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
That's right on.
And James Franco and
As the Green Goblin.
yeah, what was his dad? Why can't I remember?
Why
his
would
name?
you? Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe, thank you. I never remember that man's name.
The worst thing is, I was going to say Norman. I was like, why would I say Norman?
Yeah, so basically, as I say, there's in 5 years they released 3 films.
To put this on me.
Under the terms of the deal, Sony also had to produce a new Spider-Man film every 2 to 3 years in order to retain the rights. Essentially, if they didn't do that, Marvel get the rights to the Spider-Man movies back.
Could you imagine they just forgot 1 year?
Oh crap!
When was the last time we released a film? Ah, boy, what have you done?
Can't believe you've done this.
Can't believe you've done this.
So basically, keen to actually hold on to the cash cow, Sony quickly then moved on to reboot the franchise. So from 2007, they basically started a plan around 2009-ish to start a new one. So in 2012, Mark Webb directed and released The Amazing Spider-Man, which starred Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone.
Which wasn't so amazing.
No, the film did alright though for Sony. It grossed $757.9, so $758 million worldwide, and that's according to Box Office Mojo. Anything I mention through here will be from there.
Okay.
Now, however, it's still far under 890.9 or 891 million roughly that Spider-Man 3 brought in 5 years previous in 2007.
I suppose the reason being because everyone thought it was going to be the whole Venom thing, didn't they?
I don't know. I don't really remember what I thought about that film.
It was a bit touch and go for me.
But I did think Andrew Garfield was like too cool.
Oh, for what film you mean?
Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, no, I was talking about the
Spider-Man 3.
Spider-Man 3.
I'm with you.
It's got so much money because everyone thought that was going to be the big
Yeah.
Spidey versus Venom, and it It wasn't.
Sort of was.
It was, but it was more of a mental battle than anything else, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he did free him. He didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't really a fight. It
wasn't like he just started to be this whole fight and.
Yeah, like, and there was like Sandman as well. There were other bad
yeah,
guys.
right, you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there were other bad guys.
Yeah. Although he was no, I don't think it's their correct actor. No, it might
I
not.
couldn't tell you who. I can picture him, but I couldn't tell you who it was.
The guy with the lips.
What? Every guy has lips?
No, the like what do you call him?
He does sort of have pokey eye lips, actually. Yeah. But he also sort of looks like an American-born Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain, but he does have the same sort of head shape. In the film, he has a buzz cut.
He's like Guile out of Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He actually sort of is.
Yeah, just with like the discolored Dennis the Menace top, the green and black top, isn't it?
Is that what he's wearing?
Green and black top with
He escaped from prison.
Yeah.
And then changed.
Yeah, well, in the comics he has a green and black top with like cocky pants.
Okay.
I like Sandman. It's kind of cool.
But
don't know why. I can become sand.
Yeah.
On the beach.
Beach man.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they, as I say, it was over 130 million less than the Spider-Man 3. Yeah. Then they tried again. The Amazing Spider-Man 2, 2014. So 2 years later.
Try.
Yeah, 2 years later. So they brought out Amazing Spider-Man 2. Sorry, $709 million. So again, considerably less than the first one.
Did you prefer the second one to the first one?
I thought the second one was very sad.
Yeah.
I thought it was very sad because I honestly at one point thought he caught her.
Oh,
then just next thing it's her funeral, and you're like,
you can hear the headbutt as well.
You can, yeah. But I was like, please, and then next time it was funeral, I was like, oh god.
Yeah.
It was more touching, but it's probably the one that sticks with me more because of that scene.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah.
So anyway, it left Spider-Man basically on life support because it was in bother. Mm-hmm. People weren't overly impressed with the film.
Yeah, no surprise.
As they were. Now, desperate to avoid having the rights revert, Sony kicked around the idea of a few different movie series to keep that sweet Spidey cash flowing. Now, that included a Sinister Six movie, a Venom movie, which eventually they did make, an all-female web swingers movie, which actually might be pretty cool if they did that, and perhaps the most ill-advised of all, this one's hilarious, a movie focused entirely on a young version of Aunt May. So, anyway, around this time, there were emails that were released. Sony were hacked and there were emails released that became public knowledge. That basically Marvel Studios head Kevin Feige and Sony mega producer Amy Pascal had actually met up and were trying to bring the character into the MCU. The initial meeting didn't go that well. This apparently happened that Amy Pascal threw a sandwich at Kevin Feige during that meeting.
Nice.
So it wasn't very well tempered.
I don't know why you threw a sandwich away like
but eventually. What are you?
I'm an egg sandwich.
So
my sandwich.
So eventually, the two studios eventually reached an agreement in 2015 to share the character. So that all happened. That was good. Now, under the terms of this agreement, and this is where the issue comes in. So this is the part. If you haven't paid any attention so far, this is the bit that's important. Sony would continue to pay for and have final creative control of any sort of future solo Spider-Man movie, but Marvel would produce the film and serve as creative lead, which meant Kevin Feige, and his team would still have the chance to shape the tone, the style, pick the cast, integrate the character into the larger MCU at the same time.
Yeah.
So it sort of sounds like they are real 50-50 in it there. It does sound as though Sony were happy to take a bit of advice but also wanted their part put in, which is fair enough.
But you said they had final say, didn't
they? They did have final say. So if they
didn't
want people say, it'd be like, nah.
Yeah, well, see whenever people say 50-50, I don't really get that because it's not. Because if you have final say on something, you have 100% leverage over everything else.
Yeah, I mean, that bit certainly is very much weighted towards Sony. Yeah,
so you've got, like, I'd say that's enough 90-10.
Maybe.
Really, I mean,
they are obviously getting a lot of help with the producing of the film and how it's going to be in tone and all that sort of stuff is really key.
Well, it'll benefit them, but the fact that they've got the final say is just like, well, no. You know
I wonder how much they would say no, though. Especially to
that's the thing. Like,
a money-making machine such as...
I think Kevin Feige's very, very good at what he does.
Well, anybody that doesn't already know, I will tell you exactly how good he is in this, which is unbelievable.
It's not, though.
So, as I say, so like integrate them into the MCU now. Meanwhile, Sony could still develop their spin-offs, and that's obviously Venom has came out at the moment, and there's going to be a Venom 2.
Yeah.
And then also their animated movie, which was Into the Spider-Verse, the Spider-Man animated movie, which won a Academy Award as well.
For very good reason.
Very, very good movie. So the decision was met with praise. Everybody thought it was a great idea. And whenever you read it out, it sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, whenever I read it like that, it sounds pretty good. But later on, you'll understand why Marvel have came back to the table. But anyway, it did really well. Spider-Man Homecoming brought in $880.2 million, which outperformed every other Spider-Man movie except for Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
Which obviously, as you say, was probably down to the fact Venom was supposed to be in
Well, it was built to be this big fight thing, but...
Exactly. So, anyway, and then Far From Home just crossed there recently the $1 billion mark. It is now actually Sony's top grossing movie of all time. So... it's round about 1.1 billion now, roughly. It took over the James Bond movie. I think it was Spectre. It took over a James Bond movie.
I think it could have been that one.
I think it was Spectre. Anyway.
Yeah, it could have been Spectre.
So it is now the most successful Spider-Man movie of all time. John Watts has breathed new life into the character that had been rebooted 3 times in 15 years, which is ridiculous. Now, one thing I will say, if that happens to Fantastic Four in the next few years, it will also be something very similar, because there was the one with Jessica Alba, Chris Evans and stuff. There was that one recently with Michael B. Jordan, and it was terrible.
Miles Teller.
Awful movie.
Yeah, it was shocking.
And yeah, so we'll see what they do with them. And Tom Holland obviously got a lot of acclaim because he has made Peter Parker and Spider-Man his own. He looks the part, he acts the part, and he's great. He's a really good actor in my opinion.
It's weird because he literally is like, he is, you know what I mean, like the same way with like Tony Stark, like,
yeah, he is that character.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's weird. Like Tobey Maguire was too nerdy, and then not enough cool for Spider-Man, and then it was the opposite way around with Andrew Garfield. Cool. I thought.
Whereas I think he's real good. Like,
oh, he's right in the middle.
And then obviously he was the emotional center of Infinity War whenever he went to dust.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to go, Mr. Stark. All that, which was completely made up.
Have you seen the meme where it's like at the
Sony Disney?
Like, I don't want to leave. I don't want to go to Sony.
Yeah.
That's like, oh, that's so sad.
So that brings us to the news that popped out on the 20th here. Now, it was Deadline that initially reported it, and Disney and Sony haven't been able to agree, which everyone's sort of down. Now, it is all down to money. So after Far From Home, as we say, it is now the highest grossing Spider-Man movie and highest grossing Sony movie of all time. It said that Disney actually want to change the financing agreement, opting for 50-50 split on everything, such as the funds needed to make it, as well as the profit of the movie as well. Now, as it stands, now this is why they want to change it, because whenever you hear this, it sounds awful. So Marvel currently receives all the profit from the merchandise. Fair enough, because they retained the rights in 1999, whenever they eventually made the deal.
Yeah, nothing's changed there.
Nope. And they get 5% of the profits from the box office totals on the first day of release. Yeah. So, for example, if on the first day the film makes $100 million, they will get $5 million of that, which is not very much money considering Endgame has made nearly $3 billion. Well, it's gross $3 billion. Whatever it's made, doesn't really matter. But they get 5% of the gross, so essentially they would get $5 million. Now, Sony, their senior management team executives Tom Rothman and Tony Vinciquerra apparently countered the deal to remain as it is. Disney didn't think that was very fair, considering Feige basically created the MCU, which has garnered a lot of interest in Spider-Man, which is therefore by proxy went through to Venom, etc., and it sort of got bigger that way. So they're sort of piggybacking on success.
Well, it's the real reason Venom was made. If there was no Spider-Man in the MCU, Venom wouldn't even exist right now.
Exactly. So. Now, reportedly, the other issue is that Feige's workload is now getting a bit out of hand. And now, whenever you think about all we've spoken about, now we have spoken about Marvel a few times on the way through this, including Disney Plus. So there's obviously Phase 4 he's planning, which we already know from our previous episode. Go see that episode. We're not going to go through it again. But there's a lot of movies and TV shows coming out now. I'm saying TV shows because he is also involved with the Disney Plus series, such as Loki and all that, Hawkeye, all that sort of stuff. Now, the overall inclusion of Fox, which they've recently bought for 74 billion or something. They basically are trying to put them into the MCU as well, and that's like the X-Men and Fantastic Four. So he's obviously a lot to do.
Yeah.
And how does he weave them into the story going forward?
I think he'll do it no problem, but I just think people are just taking him for granted, really.
Yeah, I mean,
he's a smart fella. He doesn't need anyone else to speak on his behalf, like, so.
Exactly, and basically, well, I'm literally about to get into it. Basically, what this man Kevin Feige has done in the last
you could probably write down what he has
12
done.
years.
Yeah.
So now, what's interesting is the amount basically of pride on both parts is what you have to sort of take into account. Now, Sony seem pretty content and thinking they can actually still do this themselves. Now, they obviously did well for Venom and Into the Spider-Verse, but once more, I will always say that they have piggybacked on the success of the MCU. That would not be the case if it was the other way around. In my opinion, obviously I could be completely
I share the same opinion. So.
Now, it's speculated that the studio still has deals with Tom Holland and John Watts as well, and Amy Pascal is obviously still there too. So basically a lot of the core talent would still be in place without Feige. Now, Feige, this is where I'm going to tell you basically about the run he's been on. It's unprecedented. So in the last 10 years or so, he's overseen 23 different movies. Every single Marvel Studios film has opened in first place at the box office. Total combined profit, now this isn't gross, this is profit, is close to $27 billion. Nearly $2 billion of that comes from both the MCU Spider-Man films as well. He produced what is now the highest grossing film in box office history in Endgame, Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
So we may never see what this man has done ever again. If he was to stop now, would you ever get one person who's done, was it 23 films in a row and nailed every single one of them?
There's no, I don't think there's any sort of blueprint for it now. That's you can do that with Marvel. You're not going to find it with DC. No offense.
No,
I mean, you're not going to find it.
Doesn't happen.
You're not going to get something like the Lord of the Rings. Like, I don't even think this TV series, I think it'll do well, but you're not going to find anything that's going to be anywhere near as good as all the films he's put together. There's no way.
It's just the way he's linked them all is very clever, and basically that is an argument that Sony would benefit from continuing the relationship with him, because he has such a deep understanding of what actually makes characters work. There's also the argument that the MCU without Spider-Man, a character that is so pivotal and integral over the last few years, if you look at, as we discussed in Infinity War, and he is literally the reason why Tony Stark came back into it to get him back.
Yeah.
So is his death then in vain if he disappears? So
it is annoying. Like it's basically it's led up for this big moment where Spider-Man basically takes over, and realistically, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean,
with the way it is at the minute.
Complex go on to say here that basically the two truly great movies in a row, Endgame and then Far From Home, the entire emotional core of Far From Home doesn't exist without Peter's compelling relationship with Tony Stark.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, further to that, now there are no spoilers here. I've already checked. The ending of the movie launched a new and legitimately exciting future for the character, one that would be great to see come to full fruition under Feige's tenure. That is literally verbatim from the site.
Yeah.
Now, Variety made a piece as well. They're a bit more optimistic about the chances of this going on and the deal being sorted out. So Sony attempted to downplay any reports of the animosity in a tweet thread. I'll read them after. But basically,
I have them here, but if
do you?
Yeah. Just
the
three.
Yeah. Do you want to read them?
Well, sort of much of today's news about Spider-Man has mischaracterized recent discussions about Kevin Feige's involvement in the franchise. We are disappointed but respect Disney's decision not to have him continue as a lead producer of our next live-action Spider-Man film. That's the first one. Next one, we hope this might change in the future, but understand that many new responsibilities that Disney has given him, including all their newly added Marvel properties, do not allow time for him to work on an IP they do not own, which is just mad, isn't it? Like, it's pathetic. Like, it's such an excuse. Third one is Kevin is terrific, and we are grateful for his help and his guidance, and appreciate the path he has helped put us on, which we will continue.
Okay.
Like that's the three,
that's
and I'll talk about them afterwards because I just think that's such a cop out. Like,
now, some people actually, and as conspiracy theorists, seem to think that it was actually floated. The actual news of this happening was given to news outlets in an attempt to actually get everyone to go nuts and then basically bring them to agreements. They think it was leaked by Sony or Marvel.
Yeah.
To basically to get the kickoff that has happened, which we all sort of know.
See, in this culture, it wouldn't be surprising.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it does have a parting thought, which is this: if Sony does decide they want to try and make it on their own, I'm pretty sure they could call some guys who helped make a really good film in Spider-Man last year, such as Into the Spider-Verse, to help them out. For example, a live-action movie with the creative prowess of Into the Spider-Verse would be a good watch. Now, essentially, that is a real rough sort of breakdown of what that says. It is worth reading. As I say, it's on complex.com. If you just search something along the lines of, let me just see what I searched. I searched Spider-Man, Marvel, Sony, and it was somewhere down the bottom of the first page. But it was a really good read. It takes out all the crap and just sort of leaves you with the facts. So
yeah, it does, and I'm glad that someone's actually took the time and done that for us to read that. And I just think I understand that the last bit where he's like, you can go back and get people who made this Into the Spider. That's fine, but like we've both said, the reason why that film was so successful is because Spider-Man's been brought into the MCU.
Superheroes are cool now. They weren't whenever they made the Spider-Man. Well, sorry, 2012 was around the Avengers, I suppose, but Spider-Man.
Well, they weren't cool whenever Sony bought the rights for the. That's it.
In '99, Star Wars was just kicking off again. There was a lot of sort of sci-fi. I don't know what the word is, like genre stuff out there.
Oh yeah,
but at the same time, 96 comic book sort of hype had fallen away. Marvel was struggling. That doesn't just mean that Marvel, everybody was struggling at that time. Marvel just made some bad decisions as well. Yeah. Which is weird looking at them now, 20 years later. But
I know, but I mean, they were smart back then. It's weird whenever that happens. You made some really dumb decisions, and then just sort of turned it all around over one deal. But it's bad that the deal's coming back to bite them in the ass now, which is a real shame.
They are showing their ambition to get them back. If you look at the likes of the Fox deal, as I say, 74 billion or something, mad money.
It's eventually, I think they're going to acquire all the characters they want to acquire, and I mean, you can leave somebody with the likes of like Bagman or whatever you call it, but you can leave those sort of characters that aren't really going to. Could you imagine? Just
a man with bag for life all over him.
You can leave those characters behind, but at the end of the day, they're not going to hold an awful lot of weight whenever it comes to the deal anyway. They'll just be thrown in for like $1, type thing. But the
thing is do they let certain properties go and not others? Probably not. So that's where I think this deal will be different to the Fox deal. Like Fox, they just bought them. They weren't given them, so they just were like, fuck it, we'll buy Fox. Yeah. Whereas if they were to try and buy Sony, that's another massive outlay for Disney. Yeah. Obviously the only thing is they've really centered the MCU around certain characters. Such as Brie Larson or Captain Marvel, Brie Larson's Captain Marvel, and Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman is him, pretty central. Spider-Man is obviously a massive one.
Well, it's good to see that the likes of the characters like Jeremy Renner and Tom Holland they've already voiced their opinion on what should happen, which I think is unreal. Like, it's good to see that they have Disney have the backing of their own actors and stuff. Like, I think that's class, but it's a huge risk to just be like, if they were to go and buy all the characters, it's a huge risk because you've got to put all the trust into those people who are acting as those characters to be like, well, you've went and spent 70 billion or however much billion on this, but you can up my pay a bit if you do you know what I mean? Like, that's, you just have to be careful on what you do, and at the minute it just doesn't seem like, from what we know, it's just a bit of he said, she said at the minute. So
and the thing is, I can see both sides, because if you think about it financially, Sony lose out or Marvel lose out, and it's one, or Disney, one of the two lose out either way. If Sony give up 50% of all gross, then they're losing a fortune. But also, and obviously Marvel would be putting in, say, a £200 million budget. Like, the swing just isn't enough for Sony to be like, yeah, okay, this is fine. If they got 500 million but only paid 100 million towards, they have a 400 million swing. Whereas let's say they take 99% of, let's say 95 for the sake of a number, of the billion, and pay 200 million, they're up like 700 million. So the difference, the swing, is a no-brainer. But obviously then what you have to put into that, the thinking is, Spider-Man was worth, I don't know, 700 million, right? Let's say, for the sake of a round number. Marvel then get involved, and within 4 or 5 years, he is worth $1 billion. So the goodwill that Marvel have applied to Spider-Man is $300 to $400 million.
Yeah.
So I suppose their side of it is, well, hold on a minute, we've added value of $400 million per episode per movie.
Yeah.
You know, you wouldn't have done that without us. You'd be floundering. Not 700 million floundering, but you could have a 500 million Spider-Man movie as your next one, whereas you haven't. You've got nearly $2 billion off 2 movies.
Yeah, I mean, the fact of the matter is, they're very different companies, and they're very different films within those companies, and you can go ahead within Sony. You can go ahead and you can research everything you want about Spider-Man. Doesn't mean you're going to make a great film with it. But
again, you could have told me, right? If you didn't put the Sony logo in Venom, you could have told me that was a Marvel movie. I'd have believed you.
I wouldn't.
Why?
It just doesn't. It just didn't have the same feel. Just didn't. Just wasn't. It wasn't.
But it was funny.
It was, but
it had the action. Obviously, there was swearing and stuff. You could, if you cut that down and made that film a 12A.
Yeah, you could.
Not one part of that would have made me think that's not a Marvel movie.
It just didn't have the right feel for me. I don't think. I just think if they would have a. It's a weird, like, in my mind, I can see what the Marvel one would have been.
What way would you have thought it was different?
It would have just been a bit brighter, if you know what I mean. Like, in terms, not that it was dark. I'm just saying, like,
sort of was, but the reason it is dark is because it has to be dark.
Yeah, but I mean, like, but they would have that in a different light completely. I think it would. It just, I have so many scenes in my head when watching that film of how Marvel would have done it, and to me, it is a good film. Don't get me wrong.
Sorry, yeah, I thought Venom was good.
I just think with having Kevin Feige in the background and just being like, I know exactly what should happen in this part, what should happen here, there, and everywhere, what sort of partnerships this guy should have, and I just think it would be a lot better on that side. But it's a weird thing whenever you sort of look at something, you can sort of envision something completely different. Yeah. It's the same way every artist can have a spin on the same thing.
Yeah, like different songs.
Yeah,
types and whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It's just there's some ways that you could have. Not saying I would have done it better, because I wouldn't. There's no way. But from looking at the way the Marvel films work, from 10 years of watching them all, there's definitely certain parts in that film you're like, that could have been done better.
But they have got very dark now.
Yeah, but that's
half the world died at the end of the last one.
But that's but the thing is,
Tom Holland disappear, Guardians. You seen Rooker die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean when I say Michael Rooker, he died.
Yeah.
That's obviously the last Guardians. In Endgame, we lost main characters.
Yeah.
So Loki got literally choked out on screen and his neck broke. Like, there are, and then obviously the Stormbreaker to the chest of Thanos, another one, I suppose. But whenever
his head being cut off as well.
Yeah, in Endgame, right enough. Yeah, and like whenever you break it down, and then obviously in Endgame, so I'm completely forgetting. Even the way people died, there was blood all over the place, and
well, see, this is the thing though, that like maybe this is just me, but whenever you put a film like with like of Endgame, and they're dark, but not in a bad way. If you know what I mean, like they're not.
It's because they've done it, and like I've listened to a podcast before about the what do you call the people that rate movies in America?
Critics.
No, there's a board. I can't remember, but let's just say the ratings board for the movies. They let you have, for example, like one F-bomb.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know, and they or
like
whatever, or there are like so many like shits or whatever. Like
literally
a
couple of guys squatting down there.
As you say, like they'll have you a certain amount of gore. Like his head coming off.
Yeah.
The blood around. Got Black Widow and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Like you have a certain amount, or the way Hawkeye or Ronin was pure murder and them boys. Yeah. Like I guarantee you, there's probably a deleted scene where you see stuff.
More than likely, but it's just I don't understand. In my, like I said before, maybe in my mind it is very different. Like I'm gonna wait and see what way the Doctor Strange film's gonna come out, because it is supposed to be. It is supposed to be closer to not a horror as such, but like it is.
Yeah, well, it's horror feel. Sure, we got that.
Yeah, so it's going to be a bit darker. So I'm going to sort of judge it by that. But for some weird reason, I just think the Marvel universe seems to do dark a bit of a brighter way, if you know what I mean.
It's called the Motion Picture Association of America.
Okay, well there you
MPA.
go.
That was going to really annoy me.
Well, at least you got it in the end. But I don't know if anyone else would agree with me, but I think I would love to have a chat about something like that, but I just think Venom was great. I think it was good. I'd have to admit it was a good film, but I definitely think had it have had the right people behind it, it probably would have done a lot better.
What did it make? Do you know?
No,
I never found out.
No idea how much it made. No, I don't mean it in terms of the money. Right, I'm just talking about it would have done a lot better in terms of reviews. Even though it did get really, I think it's like a 6 or something, isn't it, on IMDb, or a 6.8 or something on IMDb or something like that. But
it grossed 856 million.
So it's just below Spider-Man 3.
890 that was. Yeah.
So,
just about. It's round about the same as the first Spider-Man Homecoming. So it was. It has
done well there then.
A 6.7 on IMDb, so it's all right.
Yeah, but then again, like, would that have? What I would have thought, well, it's a 6.7 film, right? So, I mean, that wouldn't have done anywhere near as good had not Spider-Man been in the MCU. That's the thing. And so if that was a film on its own, it wouldn't have made 850 million.
Another point on top of that, the money made from Homecoming for Sony
would have
went into Venom.
Yeah.
Would they have been able to get the likes of Tom Hardy and
no way.
We know obviously in the next one it's going to be Woody Harrelson as Carnage. I mean, if anyone stayed for the post-credit scenes, you've seen that.
Yeah.
And it is terrible that I cannot remember the bad guy's name.
What do you mean the bad guy's name?
In Venom. He's a British actor. He was in Rogue One. Oh my goodness.
See, now you don't tell me these things because then I'm going to be the same way. You
sorry,
don't do that to me.
Sorry, I'm going to have to Google it. I'm sorry. That's going to really annoy me.
Well, while you're Googling, I'll just talk about these tweets.
Okay.
I just think you've read the tweets, haven't you? You've seen them.
Yeah. I went on that night and had a look. Yeah.
I just think they're. Oh dear, you got it.
I was gonna call him Ahmed something. His name's Riz Ahmed. Flip's sake. Sorry.
Well, you were close. You were close. I just think it's a bit of a cop out. These tweets. It's just. I mean, they're basically playing that. Well, again, we don't know what's happening. We've no idea what's happening. But with these tweets, to me, what I would have done was just not say anything. I would like even with Twitter, because Twitter is a nightmare to even get your opinion on. Like, everyone will take it the wrong way, and I wouldn't say I'm taking it the wrong way. It's just they're just saying here that basically Kevin has too much going on, so we're not going to keep him.
That says to me that they were the ones that leaked it.
Yeah,
because like nobody else is talking.
Exactly.
And yeah, it's a funny old situation, like, because I would be really disappointed if Tom Holland isn't leading this Phase 4. I'd be really disappointed.
Because it would wreck the entirety. Well,
trust me, see Far From Home.
Yeah,
trust me, you will be so disappointed. This will make this worse. The end of Far From Home will make this worse.
Yeah, for anyone that doesn't, I haven't seen it yet, so I know it's been out for ages and stuff, but I just never, unfortunately, went.
Yeah, like for anybody that knows what I'm talking about, just nod in agreement, because it got
an order.
it definitely just the gravity of what happens at the end of that, the last cutscene.
Yeah.
In the movie, post credit scene. Sorry, in the movie. It honestly, I cannot. It just changes everything.
Well,
and if they somehow find a way to gloss over it, fair enough. But I will feel very unsatisfied.
Well, from what I've read, now I haven't spoiled anything.
I'm not going to confirm or deny anything, but you can.
That's fine. Well, I'm not going to say like what's happened or I'm just going to say what people have said on Twitter. They basically said that they said the same thing of what you said. Just the end of Far From Home. It's just like what's going to happen. Now, basically, like people are saying, Tony Stark has just died for no reason, and this is going to be the end of the Marvel universe and all this here sort of crack. And I obviously haven't seen the film yet. I haven't seen Far From Home, but from what people are saying, and everyone's in sort of the same agreement that film was the turning point of the next phase. And if this isn't going to happen, then what do you do? I mean, I would assume they've already got things recorded and they've already got things sort of planned and they've got scripts and stuff. So the Phase 4 for films, I mean, you would need to have something in place there for the next however many years it's going to be. But even no one would have seen this coming.
No, I mean, one thing I will say is
unless they have planned it, like you said.
Well, you got to think, like, we didn't hear anything about Spider-Man.
What do you mean about Spider-Man?
Whenever we got this release, Do you remember we went through in that episode? As I say, guys, see previous episodes. we went through Phase 4 of the MCU. Where was Spider-Man?
Oh yeah, right enough actually. True.
Where was Spider-Man? We got real random ones. And the other thing is, there's no Guardians.
Yeah, yeah, true.
So, the way I'm looking at it is that at the time they planned Phase 4, they still had the issue with James Gunn.
Oh, yeah.
And they potentially had this issue with Sony. Or they planned to go to Sony.
Yeah.
When they weren't 100% sure if they were going to be able to fit Spider-Man and or any of the Guardians into any of the movies. So...
Yeah. Well, then that now means that if they don't have any plans for Spider-Man and say they do come to agreement after this whole debacle has ended, that means you're going to have
they'll change it.
films. You'll have to have films thrown in between. Which
They'll put one because if, as I say, trying not to give anything away, if the post-credit scene goes in a certain direction with the next movie, which is what it sort of opens it up for, it can wait a few years.
All right, okay.
Because it would give it time to blossom into the next
phase.
Yeah, like it would give it time to take effect, and you could see what happened.
Okay. Well, then maybe it's not a bad thing. Then maybe this.
So they have time. Like in my opinion, they have time. Like they could wait 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
They could give us another film in 2022, 2023, and that'd be fine. Because that's apparently when Guardians coming out, 2022, 2023?
23, I thought it was, yeah. No,
yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, you could be talking that they give us all these new films. I think you're right. All these new films, and then in 2023 they're like, Guardians, Spider-Man, something else, you know, that maybe they give us a Winter Soldier standalone, you know, you don't know, so...
Well, I mean, realistically, we were never going to know until something pops up. Like, I mean, we had no idea. Well, we had a few ideas about what was happening in Phase 4, but we didn't have the entire sort of thing leaked either, so...
That reminds me. I actually read a rumour the other day. I know it's slightly off topic, but it might... Yeah, we might need to move on anyway. But this is really cool. So, I read a rumour the other day that the S.H.I.E.L.D. go into Vulcan.
Is this in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
No. The S.H.I.E.L.D., Cap's S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, I
go
thought
into
the S.H.I.E.L.D.
go into Vulcan, go into Sam. He's going to have the S.H.I.E.L.D. in the TV series, right?
Oh yeah, well,
as we know.
You can see it in the picture.
As we know. But they think what is going to happen is that the government don't want him as Captain America, and in fact they are going to have their own.
Oh.
And it is rumoured that it will be none other than the Man of Steel himself.
Oh no.
As
Henry Cavill?
Coming in as Agent...
It's a weird name.
Agent what?
Agent
There he is. Who? Agent
yes.
I need to find out exactly what it's... That's awful. It's Agent Jack someone, I think.
Sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh. I can't believe that. Well, if that's true, then fair play, I suppose. But why?
It's a storyline.
For the TV series, just then.
Yeah, I mean the storyline essentially is they're trying to bring the comic book character closer to the big screen. So Cavill, they want to play. Well, first of all, it's been a couple of years since he'd actually been Superman, by the way.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So the villain turned hero, considering his retirement, blah blah. U.S. agent is literally just his name. Sorry, was first introduced as a patriotic extremist, and then eventually becomes Cap. Yeah, there's actually a picture, and it does actually look quite cool of Henry Cavill as a Captain America sort of character. He sort of suits it. He looks the same as Chris Evans, like just blonde. But yes, anyway, basically, if they think Marvel potentially are thinking that if Henry Cavill is done with being Superman, DC no longer want him to be Superman, which is sort of what it looks like, because obviously they're changing Ben Affleck and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. That they may swoop and try and bring him across. So.
Be kind of cool, although it'll be very different. Like we're gonna have to get used to that all over again.
I mean, it could just be that, as I say, Falcon's like a vigilante cap, and then US agent, as his name is
far.
the government held
Yeah.
Captain America.
It's a strange one, like, don't know. Well, I suppose we're gonna have to wait and find out. We'll have to wait and find out when we're even getting Disney Plus first of all. So.
And if you think about it, US government are trading in vibranium.
Yeah.
As of Black Panther,
Mm-hmm.
potentially make a shield.
It's true. So there'll be 2 shields about the place then.
Could be. So yeah. Anyway, that
Could
was
be a
random.
full army of shields. It'd be weird.
It's completely random, but I thought you might find that interesting.
No, I definitely do. Yeah. But yeah, we'll just have to end that one there. I think
That's all we know.
Yeah, it's all we know about the Spider-Man debacle, and we genuinely hope it gets sort of resolved and
They'll probably come up with trendings.
probably, but we just don't.
Sorry.
You say apparently.
Probably.
But we do hope it's for the benefit of everyone, not just the companies. More the fans, because we're fans. So
Yes.
but yes, folks. We'll end part 1 there, and we'll catch you again in part 2. Welcome back to part 2, the What's Trending part as always. So this week, I think you find the What's Trending again, because my What's Trending is pure guff as per usual. CBBC have ranked their own TV shows in a tier order. The bottom one is tier, the second one is mid tier, third one is top tier, and the fourth one is legend tier. So, you used to watch CBBC back in the day as a kid.
Yeah.
I used to watch a few things, but I was more of a Cartoon Network kind of kid.
Love Cartoon Network as well. I watched a lot of TV.
Okay. So the tier is that the legend? Yeah, the Legend of Dick and Dom.
I only know Dick and Dom in the Bungalow.
I think this one was like a medieval type thing.
No, I didn't watch that.
Dennis the Menace is in the tier.
Oh. That caused a reaction there.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. So obviously I should probably say tier is the lowest and legend tier is the highest.
What were they again?
Mid, top, and legend.
I'd put Dennis in mid tier probably.
I'd be the same. But you're gonna go nuts here at some of these. So Deadly 60. Ever heard of that?
Yes. Did you ever watch that?
Nope.
Okay, that was great. It was. Oh, he's quite a famous wildlife presenter.
Right.
Let me get you his name as I'm telling you, but
Okay.
I can't remember the guy's name.
Well, this is in the tier.
Right, it was good. Basically, what it did was Steve Backshall.
Nope.
No. Okay, you know him the same. I'll show you.
I probably don't, but
I'd be surprised if you don't, because I know his face.
oh yeah, I know
Okay.
Steve.
Right. So,
Yeah.
so basically,
So does it actually know the guy?
yeah, he
Actually, we'll go back.
basically he went through deadly animals, and told you about them and showed you them and had them in his hand and all this stuff.
So he's like Steve Irwin of CBBC.
Sort of, yeah. But he would like the Deadly 60 would be here's a tarantula number 43. And you'd be 43? What the frig? That's the most dangerous animal in the world.
Right.
And then it would go up and some would be really random. This isn't real, obviously, but elephant would be number 6. You'd be what? And then he would be elephants are ridiculously heavy and crush stuff. But you know what I mean?
Do you know how weird that is? Within the next part of the What's Trending, that would go, had I watched that as a kid, that would go into what I watch now.
Okay.
But it's not Deadly 60, it's the Deadliest 20 in
Yeah,
Australia.
yeah. Well, basically that's what he did.
That's
and
kinda cool.
it was good. You know what? That was educational. I put that in not legendary, but the one below it, because I really thought it was great.
Top tier.
Yeah.
Some of them just don't make any sense, to be honest with you. I just don't understand why they're there. Next one in the tier is TMI.
No idea what that is.
Neither do I. News Round, you like News Round?
I did, because it was short, it was to the point, and it gave me a bit of knowledge. So, but I'd leave it where it is, because it wasn't it was a 10-minute program. It wasn't long.
Yeah.
It was short. So
I just didn't like the half the presenters on it because they were just so boring.
do you remember Angelica?
I liked her.
She
I liked
was
her,
on
and I liked
There was another guy who's on the news now.
Michael. His name is Michael. His name is Michael.
What's
I don't know what his second name is. He does he's a very funny fella.
Is he a black guy?
Yeah, he's a black fella.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
it's
but
sort
it
of
was
short,
yeah,
curly hair.
I don't think it was curly. No.
Okay. Oh, not in the wheelchair.
No.
But he was on it too.
Yeah, he was in it too. What do you call him?
I don't know.
Oh my god! What do you call the
I
guy?
don't know.
His name was Michael. I can't remember his second. I hope it's Michael.
But he's on the news. He's on the actual real news now. That is his job.
Oh, then no, that's not him.
That's who I'm thinking of. He is on the actual news.
Oh, okay. Well, good for him.
Yeah. Went from news round to BBC News.
Well,
It seems
step
makes
back.
sense.
Next one is Ooglies, I would assume.
What?
It's like two eyes. I would assume they're both O.
No.
So Ooglies, I had no idea what that's about.
No.
So we're on the mid tier now. Bamzuki.
Can I see the thing?
I remember
Why
watching
do I
this.
know that name?
It's like it was a thing about it was like people creating like types of like bugs or something, or not bugs. It was like
Was that where they were like little creatures in the middle and they fought?
and they fought each other.
I do remember that.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if I would have it there though, because that didn't really.
That's like Beyblade for like.
Yeah, but it didn't really ring a bell with me straight away, so I don't know if I would have it
Don't you
there.
dare! I like Bamzuki. I
do remember being good.
I put it on the
I-
top tier, not the legend tier, but the top tier.
Oh, you put it one up.
Yeah.
From where it is.
Mhm.
Okay.
Next one in the mid tier, which I'm raging at, is
Uh-huh.
Chucklevision.
What?
Disagree.
You're joking?
Disagree. Chucklevision.
Sounds like the best show.
Yeah. Chucklevision in the mid tier. I put that in the
What-
legend
what?
tier.
You're not gonna. I bet you the next one looks like Blue Peter in like that low tier.
I think Blue Peter's not even on it.
What?
Yeah, Blue Peter's not even on
I'm
it.
sorry. The likes of Chucklevision and Blue Peter deserve like a tier above.
I would agree.
Legendary, which is like untouchable tier.
I would agree.
Like
Plus
the
you get your wee
best.
badges and all Blue Peter too.
Yes, exactly.
I think this one's hard to read. Transmission Impossible. I don't remember
What?
that. Yeah, don't remember that at all. The next one in the mid tier is Shoot, as in CHUTE.
No,
The next one's Get 100,
no.
and then Shaun the Sheep.
I remember that.
Didn't like it.
No, I wasn't great. I put
I
that
put
low
that,
tier.
I put that
Yeah.
in the tier. So we're on to the top tier now. So Chucklevision's only one. Chucklevision and Bamzuki. I would put Chucklevision in the legend tier,
Yeah.
and I put Bamzuki in the top tier. The rest of the tier, Dennis Tamena's definitely would be up in the top tier, I'd say, for me. So top tier, the first one is Mona the Vampire.
Okay, that was great. Yeah, I like that.
Next one is Stupid.
That was amazing.
It's
Yeah.
those these are in the top tier.
It was like a prank one. It was good.
Yeah, I remember Stupid. Next one's Basil Brush in the top tier.
Fair enough.
He
Yeah.
was quite funny. The thing is, so he's transitioned to an awful lot of like.
Other things. He does a comic relief and all this.
Yeah, but he's went to
Boom boom.
more adult things. Not like that. I knew for a fact you're gonna go. Wait, some porn? What? No, but he was like in like 8 out of 10 cast there's countdown where there's like swear words and stuff, and there's I think it's 8 out of 10, but
Interesting.
he's been
Okay.
on
But
like
again, that's probably because we have moved up, and he's like, haha, he's funny now.
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Next one in
It's
the
the
top
equivalent of
tier.
giving Mr. Blobby a sack.
What?
Just
What?
a big sack.
A big sack of
Yeah.
Mr. Blobby.
Look at him. And instead of going, woo, he's like, oh, bro.
I hated Mr. Blobby. I hated him so much. Next one is Young Dracula.
I think I've seen it, but again, I'd maybe drop that a tier because I just don't know.
Yeah. Next
Yeah.
one's Smart.
Smart.
It's the
Smart.
one.
Is that the art one?
Yeah.
Barely remember it. Drop it a tier.
Oh Jesus.
Anything I don't really remember.
What was the one?
Art Attack.
Oh, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one.
You know he's in like a rock band now?
He's been in a rock for years.
Has he?
Yeah, Neil.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's very
Neil
fun.
Buchanan.
Neil Buchanan.
Neil no Buchanan. He's
Yeah.
a big man, so he is. Yes. The story of Tracy Baker.
Yeah, good. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Well, that finishes all those tiers. So we're on the legend tier. They've got, for some reason, the legend tier has 2 things. So this is all
Only 2 shows?
top. No, like 2 like lines of shows.
Oh, right,
the
okay.
top, mid, and
Yeah.
all have
1.
1, and this
Okay.
is 2. So they're not in any particular order. They're just all together type thing. So Horrible Histories,
Okay, yeah. I love the books. I
Mhm.
don't know if I've seen the show, but I love the books.
Prank Patrol,
Yeah, great.
Dick and Dawn in the Bungalow.
Yeah, my cousin was on that.
Oh dear.
They got kicked off.
Oh,
They like got negative points. It was a disaster.
oh dear.
Yeah.
Raven.
Oh, it was amazing. Honestly, like I'm not joking. Yeah, that show was incredible.
Maybe that's why I like Game of Thrones.
Do you remember? He dresses like one of the Night's Watch. He was like, "Oh, do you remember it?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, it was great.
Jesus, alright. This is unreal.
It was so good.
50-50.
Get to the Shadow Realm, or whatever it was.
I don't remember.
If he died,
Yeah.
do you remember? Sorry,
Was it a
50-50.
game? Was it-
50-50 is good, and I always rage in my school. Never went on it.
That's right. With schools, wasn't that? That's
Yeah.
right. Get Your Own Back.
Yeah, okay. That was with the parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Secret Show.
No.
Am I High?
No.
Sorry, I've got no head.
What the...
I think that's what it says. It's very, very hard to read, some of them. But I think it's Sorry, I've got no head. Next one's The Slammer.
Yeah, it was good.
Then Trapped.
It was great, and actually Rachel and I were joking about that the other night. We like closed the door on Milo, not on him, but to make sure he couldn't like get outside.
Yeah.
Because he was like barking and stuff, and Rachel closed the door, and Rachel just went, "You're trapped," you know, like at the end of that.
Yeah.
That just made me laugh. It was funny. Like,
Then the last one is The Sarah Jane Adventures.
I honestly have never seen that.
No. But I would definitely agree with a couple of them there. Like Legend of the Tier would be Horrible Histories, Raven.
Yep, I'd
Dick
definitely,
Dawn,
if we weren't
Game
making
of
a
Thrones.
new tier, I'd put Chocolate Vision, Blue Peter up there too.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're missing one. Do you ever remember the show? It was called Ace Lightning or something.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah. I remember.
It was a guy in a video game that came out of the video game,
Yeah.
and he could literally die, and then they had to try and get him back because he only had so many life bars or whatever it was.
I literally know what you're on about, but like for the life of
Was
me,
it called Ace Lightning?
I don't think it was. But
check.
I know the show you're on about where you have the little hearts. Wasn't it? You had the hearts in the screen, and they
It
went
was
down.
Ace Lightning.
Was Ace Lightning?
It was.
Let me see it.
Uh,
Maybe it wasn't the thing I was thinking of then.
yeah, it definitely was him. Let me just see.
I don't remember it then. If
There's
that's the
a
case.
decent image of it there. So it was literally a video game character that came to life, like that.
Oh yes, yes.
It was great.
Yes.
It was great. He finds a piece of an amulet and uses it to summon a new villain to serve him, and all. You know, like there's all those sort of episodes. It was great. Like I was so into that show. It was brilliant. I was raging whenever it stopped.
It's a shame, like, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, I would probably put Chocolate Vision and Blue Peter up on their own little list as well, to be honest, because I think they deserve it.
Yeah.
Second thing on the what's trending this week is kids things I still enjoy. Sounds a bit rude, but it's not. So we've got 3 of our own each. I'll go through a couple. People said like the likes of kids food. Apparently someone's still doing this as an adult, knocking a door and running away. Casual thing to do. Naps would be another one. Yep, I would agree with that one. Going to the park and playing on the swings. No. Party rings.
Yeah, they're great. Yeah.
I didn't ever remember they were for kids. I know they were good for parties.
They were
not
like
for
party
kids.
bags and stuff. Yeah, I do remember them in party bags.
Yeah, but they're for parties, not for kids. Chalk drawing on the concrete. People still do that apparently.
Okay.
Don't know why they would still do that.
Personally, don't. Yeah.
Dancing in the rain.
Never done that.
Ring pop, which was those.
Oh yeah.
See, I know.
Yeah. I've done that a few times. Like you said that a few times, and I made that exact face.
Well, with the kids things I still enjoy. With ring pop also being another one, it's just not a great thing to have. Drinking hot cocoa with a little powder.
With what?
A little powder.
What's that mean?
Just a little powder left.
Oh.
Don't know why you do that. Just get everything melted.
Yeah, have that with a line.
And then I'll just do maybe 2 more. Still love rustling through the autumn leaves, and they got a little gif of a dog going through it. A couple of autumn. And then ice cream.
Right, well that's not childish.
I would agree.
Yeah, it's just not
Yeah, it
right.
doesn't
The
make
things
any
I have
sense.
picked are quite childish.
I don't think mine are childish as such, but well, I suppose in one of them definitely is because it is a kid's thing. But what have you picked?
My 3.
I think one of ours is going to be the same.
First one is football stickers.
Oh yes. What? Who does them?
Addy, me and Addy.
No, but who does the?
Nini.
That's the one.
Yeah, so.
That's the one.
Yeah. so like I've done the 2012 Euros. No. 14 World Cup, 16 Euros, 18 World Cup. I've filled every single book
Okay.
to completion. They're all done. And then the next Euros I'll do it again. There is apparently going to be a Premier League one this year.
Oh.
Now that, depending on how many stickers, could be a big undertaking.
Yeah.
Depending on the price of the stickers too.
Yeah.
Remember last time I was giving off actually about the price of stickers on the podcast,
true,
but
yeah.
so
ADP or something in there.
they were dear. Like it was like 16p a sticker. crazy, like.
That's mad.
But either way,
Atmos stamps.
but either way, yeah, it's something I definitely did do, but now I have my own money that I can do to the extent where I actually finish the books.
Yeah. Whereas before you're like, can I get a sticker?
Yeah, can I get one packet, please?
No.
You know, but back then they were also £20 or £20, 20p.
Could you imagine? Jesus, that's a lot for a
like
pack
they
of
were
stickers.
20p or 15p or whatever for a packet of stickers, so you could get like 5 for £1.
Yeah.
Whereas now you get 1.
Unreal.
So yeah, I can now finish books, and that is my first one.
Happy days. Do you want me to go?
Yep.
Golden nuggets. Remember eating golden nuggets?
Yes.
Oh, haven't had them in a while because
Nor have I.
cereal just doesn't agree with me for some reason. But yeah, they're
My mate used to eat the Boulders version.
no, I've never seen them before.
Tesco or something's own.
Never seen them before.
Boulders, he used to call them boulders. So whenever I actually got golden nuggets, he was like, "What is this? Why are they so much more like yellow?"
They were pure like
bright.
they were like radiant yellow.
They were great though.
It was as if you just put a nuclear bomb in the box and just thought,
Yeah.
"There you go, that'll do you."
It honestly looked as if you like opened a box of cheese puffs,
Yeah,
but like yellow.
cheese puffs.
You know what I mean?
What way did you like? This is gonna sound stupid.
I know the way you ate them. Is that what you're going to ask me? How to
Yeah,
eat them?
do you have them hard or soft? What's the same when you
Right.
boil an egg? You know,
So-
soft boiled egg, hard boiled egg.
It's the way I eat any cereal, and I still eat cereal like this.
Soft.
No.
Damn it.
So I'll obviously put
I
your-
flambe, man.
I know a guy who eats it with no milk.
So he just eats it,
He just eats cereal
right?
with a spoon.
Have you seen the little thing on it's either Facebook or Twitter? So it's like no milk, mayonnaise and water sorts that out. I was like,
Oh no,
Disgusting.
thank you.
disgusted. So he eats the cereal on its own then without any.
No, basically the way I do it is I put the milk in, and then I'd start eating from the bottom. So it like, so like what I'll do is I'll like mix it, and
Right.
then by the time I get to the bottom,
You
like,
eat it.
it's well yeah obviously, but it's like it's not like soggy.
It's just
You know what I mean?
it's just.
But like the way I also eat cereal is weird. So like, say for example, it is a golden nugget. I'll put it in my mouth, and then I don't really chew them.
You just wait till it
No,
goes.
I like suck it and make it go like flat,
Oh, okay.
and then I'll eat it. Don't know why. I've always found that really satisfying. So it's
I-
like on the roof of my mouth and just goes.
I-
You know, like
I-
it's hard to explain. Like vacuum pack it.
I know what you mean to an extent because I used to do that as well, but I just sort of wait until my cereal's gone a bit.
Any puffy cereal, I will always vacuum pack in my mouth
Oh,
and
dear.
then eat it. It's
So that's how
weird.
you eat Watsits and all as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like I'll put
I
Watsits
Watsits
on my
like
mouth
that
and
as
make
well.
it go like.
Yeah, I do the same
Like,
thing.
yeah.
I do the same thing unless I'm starving. I go, "Ah." But see with cheese puffs, I'm the exact same way. I just put it and go,
That's funny.
yeah.
I never
it's
actually thought of Watsits as a good example, but that's probably a better example
weird. Yeah.
because it's either that or I just crush them with my tongue.
Well, it's a lot harder to crush cereal. Like
No,
a
it is
golden
hard.
nugget
Yeah,
than,
it's like hard. So
than
you get a bit of milk
Watsit,
in there, get the like it's sort of moist, and then you just
If there's no context to this, we didn't mention anything to do with cereal.
Yeah,
It would be getting
like,
very, very
that
horny
bit
with it.
there. What I was actually gonna say was you get it moist, then you suck it until it breaks. But like, but like, but like realistically, that would make something like Innuendo Bingo if they heard it.
Yeah.
But
true,
anyway,
true.
sorry. My one actually. Is
Yeah,
it?
your one, yeah.
So Golden Nuggets. We've got football stickers. My other one, I suppose it's not. It's now a bit more pop culture-y than it was whenever I was younger. But Lego
I got that one as well.
is one. Yeah. So, as I don't know if I mentioned it on this or not, but I've definitely told you that I have a unopened box that I found in my grandma's house.
Yeah, I've mentioned this.
I have.
Mhm.
Yeah. So anyone doesn't know, basically it's from 93, 92, something like that. It was bought for me and was forgotten about and never given to me. But I eventually did get it, obviously, but after he was dead. So I went. I've still got that, and then my room is just I've so much. Again, it's like football stickers. That I had a lot of Lego when I was younger. Like as I've mentioned before on here, I've had the Hogwarts, I've had the train, I've had the Dursleys house. Sorry,
The Dudley Boys.
I've had the Dursleys house. I've had a lot of Harry Potter Lego. I've had a lot of Star Wars Lego through the years, including, as I mentioned before, the X-wing, the Naboo starfighter, the Gungan sub. You know, I've had Darth Maul's ship, the Scimitar. I've had so many, and yeah, they're all somewhere in the house.
Yeah.
And now that I have my own money, I can then. Well, it's not just literally this, like,
Could you imagine?
recently,
I have a job. I'm
but-
going to buy Lego.
but like literally, like whenever whenever I started earning enough to like cover bills and all that sort of stuff, you know, it was a long time ago now, but you know what I mean. Like I was then had that disposable income that I was able to go, I'm gonna buy a wee bit of this, and it's just sort of came through. And you know, as long as I've been with Rachel, she's always got me the Lego Advent calendar at Christmas and all that sort of stuff. And
I only recently found out about that whenever you told me. Sure.
Yeah. So like
2 years ago now.
Yeah, would be. 2017 Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so there's loads of cool stuff like that. But again, it is a bit more pop culture now that it is more. It's a more successful company.
Yeah, well, my dad does Legos.
So, see our episode on Lego.
Yeah,
it's in there.
Pretty much. Yeah. Well, my second one was Lego as well. So I'll just go for the third one. Is just basically watching Disney films.
Nice.
Slash kids films.
Nice.
Because obviously we still have all these, you know, the live action as they're calling them now, which is.
Did you ever see Lion King?
No, I haven't seen Lion King, but at the same time, I'm not really bothered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not like
I've seen it.
I've always liked the cartoon one, and I think
it doesn't have the same gravity.
Yeah, I would assume that would happen.
So I haven't seen Toy Story yet, but I want to see Lion King.
I mean, Toy Story sort of ended for me at like 1, so you know, like I still enjoy watching them and stuff, but I just don't see the point.
I don't know. I didn't hear anything really much on 4, but it's now coming out DVD.
Okay, then we'll be watching it soon at some point.
If I don't, I'll rent it maybe.
I mean, like the likes of like, you know, like the old Pinocchio. Love the old Pinocchio.
Was that from like the 30s?
Yeah. It's mad to think about that, like, because you just don't realise how old the actors were.
Yeah, they're all dead.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah. But yeah, like all the old sort of kids films, you know, back even the ones now though, like this is like Despicable Me and all them ones. I still like them. But obviously, I couldn't have watched them as a kid, but I still like the older ones. You know, like the likes of the Lion King, Pinocchio, and all them sort of ones. I liked all them.
Yeah, that's a really good one actually, because I would agree with that. That's really good. Like if I was to see one of them on TV, I wouldn't turn it off.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
it's the same as me.
That's class.
What's your third one?
That's completely thrown me off.
What threw you off? Yeah. Why have you not got them written down?
Oh my word! No, I literally deleted the note because I thought I had it.
Oh dear!
This is awful.
See what you've done.
Lego
football
stickers. Oh my goodness.
That's funny.
That was so good. I have completely forgotten.
I can't even remind you because you didn't tell me either. You only told me the 2.
I can't believe this.
That's unreal. Well done.
Comics,
okay.
Frig me. Sorry about that. So
the first part of this whole episode.
Yeah, I know. I just, I actually was so into your Disney idea. I started thinking of movies. like honestly, I was thinking of like Sword in the Stone and all.
Oh mate,
or
even.
Do you know like so many good films.
Oh man, what do you call the film?
Tell me what happens.
It's your man Macaulay Culkin's in it.
Home Alone?
No, is it Macaulay Culkin?
Richie Rich?
No, the Master Page Man. Oh no!
Sorcerer's Apprentice?
No,
I have no idea.
Is it the Sorcerer's Page or something, or whatever you call it? What do you call that film?
I honestly don't know.
I hope Macaulay Culkin was in it. Maybe it wasn't him. I can't remember what it's called. I'll have to think at some point. It's something to do with the page because it's where he's like he goes to the library and all the stories come to life through the books.
No.
And he reads like Moby Dick and all, and he's in Moby Dick. No, that doesn't sound right. He's in like
I know what you mean.
Story of Moby Dick and the whale and all goes mental.
I don't know.
It does.
I don't know if I've seen it.
Oh man, I can't remember it. I'll have to.
But that was just such a good one. Yeah. Mine was comics. I still, as I say, it comes back to the whole. Now I've got money, I can buy them.
Yeah.
Like, well, now that I have some disposable income, the odd time, like I can buy comics the odd time, and not only am I buying hard copies, but I am also buying on the Marvel app. Whenever there's like sales and stuff.
Oh right, okay.
So cool. At the minute I'm reading a Guardians book basically.
Right.
And recently I've read a Darth Vader collection, Spider-Man with Miles Morales. I read a Groot comic, which was really good.
Unreal.
Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, Iron Man / Thor God Complex, which is good as well. And as I say, I'm partway through the Guardians one, and then at the minute, sitting waiting for me to read, I have Thanos versus Hulk, New X-Men, Avengers Disassembled, and then Miles Morales, another one, the Ultimate Spider-Man. There was a wee sale on, so
Jesus, well, you may as well, like.
Whenever the movies come around. So, but basically, it's dead easy. Like, you just click. For example, there's a Captain Marvel Volume 1, 132 pages, and you can buy it now for $3.99.
Jeepers.
And then you just flick through it on your phone. Like,
yeah.
it goes from
I
panel.
get that on my iPad probably.
It's really good. Like, it goes from panel to panel though. It doesn't do like the full page.
Oh,
so
right.
like it zooms in on the panel, and then it'll zoom. Like, say for example, it's a big wide shot.
Yeah.
It'll show you the whole shot, and then it'll zoom in on the first speech bubble that you need to read.
Unreal.
And then it'll like show you, his part of the picture.
Yeah.
And it'll zoom to the other one, and then it'll zoom out again and show you the whole thing. And then you'll click again and move on to the next panel.
That's class.
No, it's
designed
really,
it
really
well
good.
then.
It's brilliant. Yeah, it's really, really good. And you can get 3D ones, which is really cool. So like as you touch it, instead of it just moving and the page being like solid,
Oh, you move it up, like
like
blend in.
it's hard to explain, but like as it moves, like the panel isn't just static. Like something will happen and it'll look sort of 3D. It's really cool. It's really cool. But
Let's check it out. Actually, that's kind of cool.
yeah, it's great. And as I say, like you can get literal volumes, like 150 page comics for like £4. But other ones are, if they're brand new, like full price, like 16 quid.
See, I definitely say like the old Marvel nerds would be like, oh, you can't be doing it on an app.
Well, the thing is it's sort of like for me, I'll be honest, I have a lot of comics. Like the other day, Rachel didn't know this. I went in behind where I keep my comics and like pulled out more, and she was like, whoa, where did they come from? I was like, oh, I keep some in behind because I literally can't show them all. And she was like, I had no idea you had this many. I was like, yeah, I have a lot, and I was showing her like I have like the Death of Wolverine was about 5-6 years ago, maybe now 5 years ago, I think 2014, 15. And it was like a 4-part comic, and I made sure to go and literally physically get the holofoil cover every single time. And yeah, so basically I was like showing her all these, and she was like, when have you had these from? I was like, from ages ago. Like I've had them for like years.
Yeah.
Just where I have them. So like I sort of now need to be space conscious. So, and £4 for what is a graphic novel is nothing.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. That's grand. Yeah, that's great.
But yeah, that would be another one. So
fair enough. Well, with that, I found the name of the film, by the way, The Page Master.
No, never heard
No, that's the little thing there.
No, sorry.
It's weird. Do you know who else in it?
No.
Macaulay Culkin, Christopher Lloyd. You know Christopher Lloyd from Back to the Future.
Yep.
Whoopi Goldberg, Patrick Stewart, Leonard Nimoy.
Flip.
I know, unreal. Frank Welker, Ed Begley, and Mel Harris.
Very good.
Yeah.
Good cast.
Unreal.
Very good cast.
Very, very good film as well. Really enjoyed it. Distributed by 20th Century Fox.
Nice.
So pretty bad. That it had a budget of 27 million and the box office was 13.7. So didn't do very well, unfortunately. But I thought it was a really, really good film. But yeah, we'll have nothing. We'll have nothing at all. We'll end that part there, folks, and we'll catch you again in part 3. Welcome back to part 3. Was it episode 3 there? So as usual, we are finishing. Well, we're actually on episode 7 of season 3 of Stranger Things. So
one more after this.
yeah, Uno Mas, indeed. I thought this episode was good. Sort of on par, I think, with 6. It wasn't any better, it wasn't any worse, I thought. But I still think 6 was.
I think 6 was better.
I don't think it was. I wouldn't say better. It was just.
But there was a bit
more
character
engaging.
development. In this
Yeah,
one.
more engaging for me. I still thought 7 was good, but it's obviously the lead into the. It's like what it's done is like doing the roller coaster, and then you do that down bit, and then it goes back up a little bit, and then for 7 you have to go. Whew, it does the whole
little
loop
loop
thing.
back around.
Or episode 8, sorry, it'll be all loop. So, starts off. The mayor opens the carnival.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason.
No, it says Mayor.
Yeah, he's just
his
a
name? Something. Mayor Klein presents
Mayor Klein.
Fun Fair.
Yeah.
And then he was like, no expenses being spared.
Yeah.
Expenses being aired. Yeah, that's almost what I said. Yeah. So.
So the Wheelers go on a Ferris wheel, and I don't know the wee girl's name.
No, yeah, I don't think it's ever been said. Well, she must have actually. She must have. The mum might have said it, but
I'm gonna call her Gertrude for now. Okay. So Gertrude says there's some movement in the trees, but she doesn't say there's some movement. There's some movement in the trees. Yeah. She goes the trees, and then the trees start moving.
She's like, no, because then the mum's like, what? What about the trees? Like they're moving.
The
it's like, look at the fireworks, honey. Yeah, that's why we're up
she's
here.
like, No,
Yeah.
mate, the trees are
Yeah,
moving.
the trees are literally
You
moving.
blind? And then obviously the credits, not the credits, the opening things opens, and then it's all a big thing. So that opens with the clan. When the clan's like what? Nancy, Jonathan, Lucas, Maxine,
11.
Elle, and
Mike.
Mike and Will.
And Will. Yeah.
There we
That's
go.
it. Yes, that's it.
So whenever I say the clan, that's who I mean. So the
Nice.
clan are in
Okay.
the cabin, and the mind flare is coming because Nancy's all like, "Oh, what's that noise?" And then
Oh
they
yeah,
open the
because
door.
probably
and
just the fireworks.
yeah, open the door, and there's like 60 of these things, just sort of like. It's just only the one. It's only the one
Just
big
one.
one, isn't it?
But Will also is like he's close. He gets the,
Oh yeah,
the feeling.
Of course he
He's
does,
like
doesn't
he's
he?
close,
Ooh.
and then
But it
you're right.
looked a lot smaller from where they were looking.
They were far away though.
But I mean,
And if you
come
put it in
on.
comparison to the trees, well then again we don't. Like, did it break up? Because it did come out the roof.
No, it didn't break up. It was this whole big massive thing that had the little arms and all in it.
Hold on. The bit that it broke through wasn't the actual building in episode 6. It was just the floor. So like it's like a floor tall.
Ah, yeah.
It's not that big.
Yeah.
But then again, it is.
But that was
over.
was that the demo dog?
No,
No,
that was the actual big
That's
monster.
right,
And then it stands sure over the house, so it must be decent sized.
Yeah.
But the house is barely in
It's
comparison
like a
to the
cabin
trees.
type thing.
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's like a floor.
Yeah. So basically, they just see that there's something coming, and then nothing really. They just sort of get a bit of a panic, and then it cuts to Steve and Robin. That's right, isn't it? Steve and Robin.
What?
Steve and Robin.
Which one's he?
Steve and Robin.
Oh. Yeah.
Who's Steve and Robin?
No, yeah, Steve
So it
and
cuts
Robin.
to Steve
Yeah.
and Robin
Yeah.
getting rescued by Dustin and Erica.
And then the back of the wee cage thing.
The little,
The wee truck.
what was it you call it last week?
A forklift.
That's it.
Yeah.
Forklift.
Yeah.
So they crash and they all get a bit dazed and stuff, and then
Yeah.
they try and leave. And then it cuts back to the clan, as I say, getting armed. Nancy gets a shotgun, and the rest of them just sort of around.
Axe.
Yeah. Who gets Jonathan gets the axe, and then everyone else sort of boards up the windows and the doors and stuff, and they get attacked by the mind flare. Comes in
windows first.
then,
Breaks your window first.
and then Elle's like
Elle stops it.
doing the hand movement thing. She's
Cuts
like
its arm off.
she's doing staying alive, isn't she? When she's doing that, so she's doing that, and
And she cuts 2 arms off because they both come through.
yeah,
and
she
then-
she rips the heads off the
Yeah.
arms, little
Off
grabbers.
2 of them.
Yeah,
And then it comes through again and picks her up the leg.
by the leg, and then they all have this whole thing. Well, Nancy has a bit of a problem as well. That's when Elle sees her, isn't it? Nancy has this whole big problem where it's like, come into your face, and then she's
Yeah,
like,
Elle
"Oh."
stops it.
Yeah, and
The
then
one thing that annoyed me about Nancy with that shotgun, she shoots twice and has to reload.
yeah, but she reloads 3 times.
No, in the actual shooting, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whenever she's shooting at his face,
She's not.
she doesn't ever reload. She just shoots and shoots and shoots and shoots and shoots. It's like it has unlimited ammo.
How strange. She doesn't even like cock.
She doesn't have to change and reload unless I'm missing something in how that shotgun's loaded. She shot 3 times or 4 times, I think it was, whatever it was. The first time missed every shot, and that's when it came at her.
Well, we don't really have 6 shells.
Maybe it was 6 times, but she shot at it, whatever.
Well, no,
and
but
ran
it
out
would
of ammo.
if she shot more than 6 times, then it's not real.
It was like I was watching it.
That was
and
at his face, wasn't it?
And at
Yeah.
the time I was sort of thinking like, come on, that's a lot of shots.
Yeah, but I mean, it's an action shot, like, unless it's like, because they could always go, well, they're repeating it. They're not doing
No,
it
it
again
was
and again.
repeated because
Yeah.
they all grabbed her and tried to pull her back down.
Yeah, so it's grabbed her by the leg, and then they basically just fight it off. They cut it off, and she falls to the ground. She's like, "Ooh, help me!"
It's gonna be cutting her leg.
And then she rips the mind flayer's head in half.
Yes.
Whenever
yes,
she gets
that's
angry
right.
about it,
Yeah, that's
not
right.
happy at all. Cuts round to Dustin putting Steve and Robin, Steve and Robin in the Back to the Future screen,
Yes.
and then he goes to radio a lift for them all.
Yes, but
He tells Erica
yeah,
to look after the 2
The idiots.
agents on the truth serum. Yeah. And it cuts round to Hopper, Joyce, Murray, and Alexei traveling to the carnival. They have a little conversation in the car. That's
how to shut it off. It's like the 2 key thing.
Yeah. Pretty much. That's You've hit the nail on
Basically,
the
you
head.
need 2 keys to shut off the machine,
And
and
they need to be turned at the same time, isn't it?
yeah, it needs to be turned. It's like the nuke codes.
Yeah.
And he basically says you need to destroy the machine. Alexi says you need to destroy it, but also be out of there when you destroy it, or it will kill you. Like we seen in the first episode.
Yeah. so everything's sort of like back and forth here, but then after that conversation's finished, they go to cuts to the clan in the market. I keep calling them the clan, but I mean it's a lot easier.
Yeah, that's all their names.
Yeah, they're in the supermarket and trying to get stuff to help Elle's wound.
Yeah, they've smashed a window. They've broken in. There's nobody there.
Yeah, for some reason.
They're not just like dandering through, being like, "Hello."
could you imagine? Oh, it's just open late tonight. There's no one here. So they went in and trying to find stuff for Elle's leg, and Lucas decides to empty his entire backpack with nothing to help. It's like, is there anything in this that could help?
Yeah.
No.
Maxine knows her stuff.
Yeah, because she's a skateboarder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that just,
But she cuts herself a lot, so she would understand how to clean it, I suppose.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I think it's very different than having a bullet-sized gash wound, like on your
two. It's like there's two.
Oh yeah, because it goes in and out. Yeah, it's like the bullets went through. She didn't get shot.
Yeah.
But then is it Lucas and Mike? No, Lucas and Will over by the fireworks.
Look, and then Elle has a minute with Mike on his own.
And Lucas is like, "Oh, look, fireworks! This could
we can shoot them at that."
Yeah, if you have 4, then you can have full size dynamite basically. So Mike and Elle are having a little moment whilst they're having a little.
He's trying to tell her.
Yeah, he's trying to tell Maxine.
He's trying to tell Elle that he loves her.
Oh yeah, but I'm talking about Lucas. Maxine about
there's explosives in these.
Yeah, Mike and Elle are having a little moment. Basically, Mike's trying to confess his love for Elle, and it's sort of being interrupted by Dustin in the background over the what do you call that thing? The walkie-talkie. That's the one.
Yeah, start to break.
Yeah. And then obviously it just cuts between them trying to talk to each other, and it eventually ends with Dustin going back to the screen
because the batteries are dead.
Because the batteries have died, and guess who's missing? Steve Robin.
Stephen Robin. Stephen Robin is gone.
Stephen Robin is gone. Yes. So Dave just went out and started drinking the fountain water, and the truth serum gets them a bit dizzy, doesn't it? And then they
look
go
at the
into
roof, and it's a bit freaky. It's a bit like psychedelic, that bit. It's quite cool. It's really well done.
Yeah,
I liked it. It was nice.
I liked it to the point where I was like, "Oh no, my stomach's not like this at all." So they go to the toilet and be completely done in by the sick.
That made me feel a bit ill.
Did you see the sick?
Yeah, it looked very real.
It was like proper curry.
It looked pretty real.
Oh, it looked awful. Yeah. And the sooner he flushed it, it went down like a full glooper. Like,
it looked real. Like,
I wasn't expecting to see it. Like, wasn't expecting to see it.
It was minging.
No. So Hopper and his clan, so Joyce, Murray, and Alexei, arrive at the carnival, and Hopper tells
after he shouted at him. Murray shouts at Joyce and Hopper on the way.
And the way
it's like, why don't you just sleep together? You're arguing so much, blah blah blah.
They haven't had sex.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And
that's what Alexei says that they haven't had sex in Russian. He's like, no. They're like,
yeah, they have a laugh.
Yeah. So Hopper's not very happy with them all, and he tells Murray and Alexei to stay put, basically in the car, whilst Joyce and him go and scout the carnival. And cuts to Elle and the clan leaving the supermarket, and the blood on the floor starts to move. Yeah. And that's obviously not a good sign.
No, blood shouldn't move.
No, it shouldn't.
Well, it's being pumped.
Yeah.
Through your heart.
Pump the blood. So once that's finished, we go to Steve and Robin. We go to Robin and Steve are having a little moment in the
bathroom stall.
Cubicle. Yeah. And it turns out
Steve tells her.
Well, Robin tells Steve that, all this stuff, and then Steve's like, "Oh, I really like this girl," and what was that?
I thought that I considered what happened here, I guess, last week.
Oh, right enough, yeah, you do. Yeah.
But it was either that or a boyfriend, but I guessed it.
Yeah. So he's like, "Yeah, I really like this girl," basically describing Robin, and Robin's sort of like awkwardly going, "Huh, yeah," and then he comes round. Weirdly goes underneath. He's
like, I'm covered in shit anyway. It doesn't matter.
And so he talks away to Robin. He's like, "What do you think of this girl?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, she sounds class." And then he's like, "What do you think? What do you think of me?" And she's like, "Well, you're drugged still." Yeah. And then they have a little moment, and she tells him that it's not him that she had the crush on. It's the fact that Tammy Thompson was looking at him all the time and not looking at her, and he was like,
well, he didn't get it.
No, obviously,
he was like,
but for a while,
Tammy's a girl.
Yeah.
And then she like does a face, and he goes, "Oh,
yeah,
oh." And then he's like really nice about it. That bit actually made me quite. I thought it was really nice. I thought it was
made you quite what?
Smiley. I thought it was cute.
Okay.
Where he was like, he's sort of just like, oh, she's not even that nice. Like, yes, she is. Yeah, she's cute, but you know, and he talks like normally because if you think like 1985 was probably like a stigma, real stigma attached to that sort of thing. So the way he acts and reacts is. It's nice, so yeah.
It's a lot different to what other people have done anyway, for sure. So Dustin and Eric come in, and Dustin's not happy at all. He goes, "What the hell?" And he just stands there, they're just like, and they're laughing away at themselves. So after that, Billy goes to the supermarket and finds Elle's blood on the floor, starts touching it.
As he does.
Yeah, because he's a weird.
And then his eye goes.
Yeah, his eye's like
the flare is being activated.
Yeah. Ooh. It's just another word for an erection. So after that, we go to see Murray and Alexei. They're going into the carnival because
he wants to be like American.
Yeah, he wants to sort of have that American lifestyle. He wants to go in and see what it's all about, basically. For some reason, it doesn't. They just sort of go in and Murray tells them that it's all rigged. That that
you're gonna lose all the games. You're gonna lose all the games. Wins.
Yeah, but you're never gonna win anything type thing. Once that's sort of been told, Dustin and their clan leave the cinema to be found by the Russians. On the way, they leave the cinema
on the way out. Yeah.
And during that, like, Dustin's like, "Oh, we should go home," and Steve's like, "You shouldn't go home."
Whoops.
And then he's like, "Why? What have you done?" He goes, "I might have told me your full name." And he's like, "Are you crazy?" He goes, "Well, I was, I was drugged."
What was he says?
He says it was
fight the drugs.
He says resist or something. But you can imagine trying to resist truth serum. Okay. So it cuts back into Alexei and. Sorry?
I'm trying to find it there. I'm not going to find it.
It cuts back into Alexei and he is at the little balloon chucking thing where he chucks the darts at the balloon.
Yeah, it's a green one.
And if he wins, I think it's 4?
3.
Is it 3?
Yeah. He gets 3 throws that we see. There might have been more.
I think it was the 4th one he wins. I think the 3rd one,
it's like pulled out of the board.
Yeah.
And then he throws another 2.
Yeah, and then that one is like, if you get one more, you win the big prize. Then he gets the one more, and all the kids are all like, "Oh,
he's
well done." High-fiving the kids and all. So he gets Woody the Woodpecker.
Is that what it was? Mm-hmm. Okay. I didn't see.
Did you not see the Woody the Woodpecker?
No.
Oh. Did you not even notice Murray going, "Ha ha ha ha"?
Oh, is that why he did that?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes so much more. I was like, I just thought it was funny.
Oh, well,
okay.
So Alexei wins Woody the Woodpecker, and then he walks back on his way back to. He's like, "Murray, look, it's not rigged. I won something." And then Grigory, or the big Terminator man,
Terminator.
Yeah, he comes
casually.
over. And,
so casual.
But it's just literally a guy walking in with a gun, like
silencer,
as if chest. No one would look to be. This guy looks a bit funky. And then he just walking over with a gun in his hand.
It's like sort of at his side. It's not like it's really
fully out. He's walking with it like that, and then he just puts it up like that.
Yeah, shoots him.
He just shoots him once.
But as you're at a carnival, it could be fake.
I think a guy that size with all military gear on. I know people say don't judge a book by its cover, but I mean sometimes you have
people
to.
People dressed up and all, so for all they know, it could be an act or
true.
You know, you just don't know. So
Alexei gets shot in the chest area between the stomach and the chest, and
busy sternum.
Goes through little Woody the Woodpecker as well. Unfortunately, that's probably the saddest part about it. I just don't understand why everyone's so sad about Alexei. We've already talked about this. I mean,
probably didn't really do anything wrong, but he hasn't really done anything. Like apart from tell them. I mean, it sounds so stupid, but apart from tell them by the way, this here thing is. Underneath.
Oh, he's an integral part to the plan, but he hasn't done anything apart from he's went. This is what happened. There's no difference, but it'd be different if he saved loads of people.
Yeah, it's like the difference between him.
He is in a way.
He's in like 4 episodes.
Yeah.
The difference is that I compare a lot of things to how much the Viper was loved in Game of Thrones after like 6, 7, 8 episodes. Like he was only in like 6, 7 episodes, but some people are like, "Hey, he's my favorite character."
Oh, it's understandable.
But he is class.
Yeah,
like he's very, very good.
I suppose everyone could relate to him because he was sort of like, "I don't want to be here." Yeah. But I do type of thing. I like cherry Slurpees and So Murray goes to find help after he sees Alexei being shot. The Russians are taking over the carnival, and the mayor gets beaten up by Joyce. Gets full smacked in the face by Joyce. Mm-hmm. Hopper beats up the Terminator man.
Yep, shoots him
Gregory, and then shoots him like 1,000,000 times in the chest. To no avail. He's still not dead. He's wearing a bulletproof vest. Yeah. Lucky him. So he comes out, and then Hopper's like, "Oh, why?
Come on."
Yeah. So once that's all happening,
where's Smirnoff? Whenever he jumps in the car.
Oh, it's sad, isn't it?
Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, they shot him."
Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, okay." Yeah, that's sad. So after that, Elle and her clan go to the Starcourt Mall where Dustin, Robin, Erica, and Steve are all hiding from the Russians.
Cornered underneath. They're like behind a till.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like by a bar. It looks like a bar, but it's
does.
not
Yeah,
a bar.
it's like that. It's not the Panda place, is it? Maybe no.
I don't know. It's downstairs. I know it's downstairs because there's a car.
Yeah. So there's a car there. It's like one of those.
Win your car.
Yeah, type thing. And Elle decides to pick it up and chuck it at the Russians for the crack.
They're probably dead.
Oh, I would dare say they're probably dead. Yeah. And then for the first time in the entire season, everyone's sort of together.
Because they have that big moment where it's like, who's this? How'd that happen? Why'd they do? Robin's only getting caught up with the fact that Elle is actually
a superhuman.
Like she has the psychic ability, and she's like, who threw the car? Elle. Who's Elle? It's like
that's
me.
right. Who's Elle? And then they were saying about
Erica,
the Russians.
what are you doing here? These guys. Sorry, it was our fault. Like they're still telling the truth.
Yeah, and then they're like, what about the Russians? They were Russians?
Yeah.
What?
At
about
least
the Russians?
some of them were.
Yeah, that's right. So
that was quite funny, actually.
Whenever they're all sort of catching up, they're all getting caught up and stuff, and Elle sort of walks off on her own and starts hearing weird noises in her head.
Feeling the pain.
Yeah, starts feeling the pain in her head and I assume her leg because she falls to the
Her
ground.
nose is bleeding, sure, in 2 places as well. But that's probably from
the car. Yeah, I would assume so.
Made her weak though.
And then so she falls to the ground and she's like, my leg.
Mm-hmm.
They take the bandage off her leg.
Yeah.
And it's gushing blood and it has a little
dark and
there's
like a worm thing in it.
It looks like it's gonna have to be cut off, basically. Like gangrene type thing.
Yeah,
and I would assume you'd have to cut it off so the infection doesn't continue. But you see the
wee worm thing.
Well, I don't know what it is yet. So
it looks like a little worm thing that was coming out of the hand.
Yeah.
It sort of looks like they've planted
maybe
part
that's
of
one
the
of
mind flayer in it.
Yeah. So maybe that's
it looks like it looks like it's put some of the mind flayer in it. That's my guess.
So yeah, that's where it ends, and she's in pain, and everyone's like, Mike's shouting at Elle, going, "Oh, you all right, mate? What's going on, mate?" So yeah, that episode ends there. I enjoyed it for what it was. I thought, it was sort of back and forthy. There was an awful lot of they're doing this, these people are doing this here. But it was enjoyable at the same time. But I do agree that 6 would have probably added a lot more character depth into the series this time.
Well, I thought that episode was quite character heavy because it finally brings everyone together.
Yeah.
Eventually, I think we're bound to see them in the next episode.
Well,
but
this is the last one. It's the battle for Starcourt Mall, isn't it?
Yeah. So they're in the right place.
Yeah.
Which says to me the mind flayer must be on the way.
Yeah.
Over.
Uh-huh.
And we will find out at that stage, I suppose, whether that was the one that they'd actually fought, or whether it's going to join into a bigger one, or I don't know. But they're going to have to fight that. Elle's obviously not in the best of shape.
Mm-hmm.
So, excuse me. We know, pardon me. We know that it's trying to kill Elle.
Yeah.
And we know that it wants to kill her mates.
Mm-hmm.
It
might be trying to turn Elle. That's the thing. Maybe trying to turn.
I have a funny feeling they're going to just try and do her in. And
God, polite way of putting it.
But she has died before, so
yeah. Well, it's all up in the air, isn't it? No one really knows what's going to happen in the last episode, but I'm looking forward to it. I think it's like an hour and 10 minutes.
Is it?
It's quite long, isn't it?
Oh,
last episode, I'm pretty sure it was like an hour long or something. But it's called the Battle for Starcourt Mall, so I would assume it's going to be huge. I hope it's huge, because if it isn't,
flip me, an hour and 17.
Oh, an hour and 20 minutes, unreal. It's going to be a long episode to break down next week.
Yeah.
You'll have to get that one in.
Yeah, it's quite long.
Yeah.
So there you go. That was.
It's 11 o'clock then next week. But yeah, that'll be. Oh no, it's not the episode. It's not, because you don't have to do. I have to do the dad jokes.
I think I forgot mine last week.
You forgot what?
My finish at the end. I don't think I did it.
Did you not?
I was thinking about it. No, I don't think I did.
Oh man.
Yeah, my bad.
Well, we'll just have to stop the actual podcast here then. We're gonna end on episode 90.
Flip, that's where we are.
Yeah. So it's sad now. Well, you've just ruined everything now. So there's no point in me doing any dad shows now. You just ruined everything last week. No. I'll have a couple of wee jokes here. So why did the half blind man fall in the well?
I don't know.
Because he couldn't see that well.
Outstanding. Love that. Yeah.
It's not even. It's broken. It's broken now. It's not even working.
Oh, that's good.
It's actually the app. This is what's happened.
What?
You broke the app.
That was funny.
You broke the app. It doesn't work.
Why?
Oh, I've got it. Somehow.
You get it? Okay.
Yeah. As I suspected, someone has been adding soil to my garden. The plot thickens.
Very good.
It's hard to explain puns to kleptomaniacs because they take everything literally.
That's good.
It's difficult to say what my wife does. Do you sell seashells by the seashore?
Class. Yeah, very good.
What do you call a dog that can do magic tricks?
Don't know.
A labracadabrador.
Oh.
Okay, I'll do one more. Atheism is a non-profit organisation. Oh my god, that's unbelievable.
Very good.
That's unbelievable. Okay,
Very
I'll do one more. What do you call a monkey in a minefield?
I don't know.
A baboon.
Unreal. Good.
Yeah, well, I hope those jokes made a bit of a happy time in your life this week, folks. But yeah, we'll end that one there, folks, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Bye.